Hello, welcome back to my channel. So it looks like Heather has made the local Chicago news, and it all started when the Instagram account we_r_BCG on Instagram, they posted and they said that Heather was screaming and acting wild and she caught people's attention on the street tonight. The cops were called and on scene and she's pissed. Spotter was walking home and they heard the ruckus. They only caught the end of whatever happened as the police arrived. And there's pictures right here that they were provided with, and you can see Xavier speaking with the police outside their tent. So now we have more information about what exactly happened that night, thanks to the Chicago Sun-Times. So they are a local Chicago news source, and they provided this picture of Heather and Xavier's tent in their news article. And this is what the article says. It says, tent pitched across posh Ritz-Carlton causes a stir. And I wonder why she's choosing to stay right across from the Ritz-Carlton. We have seen her go in there and sneak free breakfast before and take advantage of like drinks and happy hours they have there. And also, according to another person who came out, I guess it's a good place for them to beg for money. So the article is talking about how summer is sizzling down and talking about what could be next for Chicago. And they said, well, here's something we didn't see coming. And they said a lone tent pitched directly across the street from Streeterville's posh Ritz-Carlton Hotel's private residences. So Heather and Xavier's tent was causing such a ruckus, the news was getting non-stop complaints. So they decided to get to the bottom of things, send a reporter out to get pictures of their tent, and talk to people nearby about their experience. So one elderly woman who was interviewed by the news said that it was certainly a first for her to see in front of the Ritz-Carlton a good-sized sort of fancy tent alongside two industrial carts, all topped with a large Chicago Fire soccer tarp. I mean, I wouldn't call it fancy. I've seen fancier tents than that, but I mean, I guess it's just something you're not used to seeing right across from the Ritz-Carlton. So someone else who was interviewed said that it was illegally blocking the use of a public way and up against the fence of Shulman Park on Pearson Street, and it was across from the hotel in order to use the bathroom facilities. So people weren't able to use the bathroom facilities due to Heather and Xavier pitching their tent right there, and it was blocking the sidewalk. And someone else said that I was walking my shelter dog when I called to the inside of the tent, and a woman I didn't see said she was 9 months pregnant. And this girl, Heather, she is exaggerating how long she's pregnant to this dude, but every single day it seems like she adds on another month to her pregnancy. It seemed like yesterday she was 3 months, now she's 5 months, now she's 9 months. Then this resident continues saying, then a well-groomed man, appearing to be in his 30s, showed up, accused my dog of crapping on his tent, swore at me in a salacious manner, and told me to get lost when I told him the tent placement was illegal. So I called the police, who were there in minutes. So now that explains why Xavier was talking to the police from that post that We Are BCG shared. And they said no police report was filed, but the tent was gone the next day. And I'm also shocked because I'm like, okay, they cannot be talking about Xavier because they said a well-groomed man, but it has to be Xavier because he's the one who talked to the police. So Heather, the next morning after this incident happened, she was going live and claimed that Xavier had a chancla, which I'm not even sure what that is, and she claimed somebody crapped in his cup of chancla. You know, I'm kind of starting to think that Heather is kind of like Trisha Paytas. She hears about something and then she automatically acts like that happened to her. She'll start off with like something that has a little bit of truth in it, then when she tells it more and more over time, she exaggerates it more and more, and she acts like she's had 3 different incidents with crap in a 2-day period. First, she's claiming, like we just said, that, well, Xavier was claiming that somebody's dog went to the bathroom on their tent, and then she did that live where she claimed somebody went to the bathroom in Xavier's chancla, and then she also went live the day before that and claimed that somebody had crapped in her tent. Like, how many instances does somebody have, like, with something like that in a 2-day period? So somebody else on Reddit, after they saw this article about Heather, They recognized the tent and they said, has anyone had an encounter with a couple living in this tent? This is the Chicago local Reddit. And they said, I was approached by the man who was asking for a cigarette. I don't smoke. And when I said no, he said his wife was pregnant and they needed some food. So I gave him whatever I had in my wallet, $7. I hung back after giving him the cash and he walked over to their structure and I could hear the woman inside screaming loudly at him. I'm in the downtown area for work and I have witnessed more than one time her yelling at him about SA and money right on the street corner. They shuffle their caravan around in the heart of the city. It's no wonder residents are worried. Anyone have a similar experience? And of course, a lot of people in the comments were warning him, like this girl's from Love After Lockup. And someone else even commented and they said the guy, the duo, talking about Xavier, has a good family who live in a nice part of town. According to his family, he has an intellectual disability and they have a hard time keeping him accountable. He just enjoys being out in the thick of it. Unfortunately, the female takes advantage of this, demands all his monthly disability check, and we suspect that she is hurting him regularly. She holds food at hostage and she won't allow him to eat until he does whatever it is she wants him to do. Usually it's go beg until you have enough money to get me something expensive to eat. And I don't know how true this is about him having an intellectual disability, but if that's the case, it kind of explains a lot. Because I always wondered, why doesn't he work? Is in the Heather as well. Like, he did have a job when he first got with Heather, and then he quit working, which I think a lot of it had to do with Heather didn't want him going to work and leaving her alone because she was scared, and she said she felt protected when she was with him. But I don't know, it could have been his fault also. And someone else said, don't give them money, they only buy drugs with it. And this person said that they only got $7 out of me, but I have a soft spot for pregnant women. Never again after reading these responses. So now enough with Heather. Now I want to talk about Britney and K-Rock. So the other day, K-Rock posted on his Instagram a picture with Britney and said, "You'll be home tomorrow, just so you know I was thinking of you." And he said, "Understand, it could have been a lot worse. I'm glad it's only a night." Then he put hashtag free Britney, which is obvious he's implying that Britney was currently behind bars at the time of him posting this. So I tried to do some digging, and I did see that Britney was booked into jail, but it showed she was released, and it didn't show any information on her charges. But of course, sarcasm, like always, they came through with the tea. They got a hold of her court records, and it says that back in December of last year, Britney was charged with going 96 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone, and she also had improper erratic lane changing charge. So the lane change charge was a simple infraction, but Britney, she was going so far over the speed limit that they decided to charge her with a misdemeanor. So Britney was found guilty, and she was sentenced to 30 days in jail and 29 days suspended, and so she had to spend one night in jail, and she was ordered to pay $316 in fees and fines. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. You can use my code AMBER and get free shipping on orders over $35 for anybody in the United States and the lower 48 states. So check that out if you're interested. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.